So we're back here on 970 WFLA. If you missed our last segment, we were talking about the labor shortage with Arry from ArrysRoofing.com. You can check out the segment on our YouTube channel, on our Facebook pages, youtube.com/The Duncan Duo for all of property videos as well as videos from our radio show and videos with my president here, Robert Johnson. We just recorded one that's going to come out on Coming Soon properties in the next few days. And we're joined in this segment by Darcy Davis with our real estate team. And I wanted to talk next about an article that came out about the best month of the year to sell your home in Tampa Bay, and perfectly enough, it's in June, which means you need to call us like now, and then we get your house on the market in June, and everything comes together. It's perfect. But June is obviously a really busy month for real estate in Tampa Bay, and some research was done to determine the most amount of web of buyers were looking online, the saturation rates. There was some analytics behind it saying that June was the best month. I bet if you looked, really hyper locally though, I bet some months, some places of Tampa Bay, June isn't the best month. Like, I would suspect that if you were talking about beach property, June isn't the best month to sell a vacation beach property. That's probably during the winter when, more snowbirds are down here. But across the market, the family neighborhoods that we're talking about, which dominate the Tampa Bay area with the most number of sales, June is the best month. And Robert, what are your thoughts about the article with June being the best month?
Yeah, I mean, the first thing that jumps out at me is, do you think that's for closings or putting your house on the market?
It's interesting, yeah, because that was what their research said, June, but I could see closings.
Yeah, well, because closings, June's always our busiest month, but those people are usually looking in April and May, but that's also not to say that July and August and
aren't really
the
strong.
rest of the year are that much less than
Yeah.
June. I mean, what's also weird is December is usually our second busiest closing month, so, to me, I know it's local to Tampa Bay, but I usually say there's not really a bad time in our market to put your home on the market.
We don't have a lot of seasonality.
Yeah, and especially right now, we just talked about low inventory. I mean, there's not a year of inventory on the market for most of the prices in Tampa Bay.
Correct.
So you're putting your home on the market, there's 3 or 4 months of inventory, maybe. So it's a great time, anytime, to sell your house.
And I think with June, it probably relates back to relocation and how many people are coming into the area right now. You've got new employers coming in. You've got the excitement about development.
Well, it's obviously school's out.
School's
if
out.
People want to move in the summer when school's out. It probably has something to do with McDill.
McDill has a lot of PCSs going on during June.
It's one of those things that it is a moving target, but June does tend to be pretty
one of the better months,
yeah.
And so interestingly enough, I can kind of speak to this, from a personal example. And my wife and I, if you've heard our radio ads, in addition to helping customers sell, we make immediate cash offers on homes. So we buy a lot of homes as well. And I can remember a couple of years ago, I bought a house in Clearwater that I thought was just an absolute home run. It was such a great house, and I remember the contractor got a little long getting the rehab done. And this is a home that I wanted on the market to be able to sell in December. And it didn't get done in time, and I remember putting it on the market at some point like January or February, and I thought, you know what, it's such a good house, it's going to move and do great anyway. And the problem was that I waited a little too long, and by putting it on the market then, I missed, it got attention when the spring market showed up, but it sat for a couple months, and the one struggle when a home sits for a couple months is customers start to think, is something wrong with it, so that's, the timing aspect can come off a little bit, but it also relates back to price, pricing it appropriately, but Darcy, obviously you consult with a lot of customers, and now is obviously, because of the inventory, basically if someone signs with a listing agent today, at least at our company, because we do our homework, we do a Coming Soon program, we make sure to get it on the market the right way. There are plenty of agents that could rush it on the market tomorrow and do a sloppy job and not really put it out there the right way. But June is a pretty incredible time to sell your house.
Yeah, it's a fabulous time. People want their kids to, they have to go to a different school, and moves and all different things. People, like Robert said, I mean, there's really not the best month. Anytime in Florida is a great time to sell your home.
I think the only time that's bad, and I might correct this, is upcoming January and February. But January and February tend to be a little rough. For sales. And also in certain price ranges. There are some price ranges where the inventory is still really incredible, and that's where we give you the guidance. I mean, we're going to give you the honest opinion. If you call us and it's, you want to put your home on the market the day before Christmas, we're probably going to be like, probably want to give it a little bit of time,
Yeah,
but,
well,
we
still did good with that. I mean,
Yeah.
this
Yeah, I
past
mean,
year, I
we
sold
did,
that one
we
in
did,
Trinity,
we did.
in less
Yeah.
than a week, full price,
Absolutely.
$350,000
Well, I'd love
cash.
to come out at that time and take a look at the house, get it ready to go.
Correct.
Because even though January isn't a really big closing month because December is so busy
It's starting
for
to
people,
build up. Yeah.
January is usually our biggest listing
It's
month
when we
of
get the
the
most
year.
homes on the
Yeah,
market.
so it gets very busy.
But it's
after that.
also where things are hyper local too. Like the home that I had the bad experience with listing in Clearwater, the majority, that was a neighborhood that just seemed to not, it had more people coming from out of the area and things like that. So versus local purchases and local moves. So every neighborhood's going to be a little bit different, but nonetheless, you definitely can't go wrong right now and over the next few months. I mean, getting your home on the market now versus waiting. You got low supply. You got all these things moving in your favor. And a lot of people, you hear a lot of sellers and people get concerned, oh, interest rates are rising. That's for the short term. Now, if they keep rising long term, obviously it can cause some damage. But for the short term, it actually motivates people, knocks them off the fence. The opposite is not what occurs. People think that when interest rates rise a quarter, a half, or even 3/4 of a point, that all of a sudden buyers are going to jump back on the fence. No, the opposite is what actually happens. You've had enough buyers sitting on the fence that an interest rate rise gets them to say, okay, the interest rate dropping and being this low forever is finally over. I need to jump in. So it actually has the opposite effect in our experience. We tend to see more leads and more activity when interest rates rise a little bit. Now, if they rise over a 6-month period, you might start to have those unaffordable, those affordability issues. But the opposite is what happens. So more and more opportunities out there. Definitely a great time to sell your home. The other thing that I would say about June that I think a lot of people, fail to recognize. Obviously, you've got schools, you've got you've got all these great things, but some people want to buy or sell, and some people want to buy and have the ability to move in before school starts. So not only are the kids out of school, but you got some people who just don't want to rush the process of saying, you know what, I don't want to close August 10th. If I do something in June, I'm done by July, and I've got enough time to move in and get the kids settled. So it isn't just that kids are out of school, it's that it's the month that gives you enough time. It's the last month really that probably gives you enough time to get everything done. I can't say it can't happen in July, it's just less likely that, a lot of closing things that happen that we can't control that push it into August, and then you're up against kids starting school.
Well, now they
again.
start in the
I know it's starting earlier.
August,
yeah. So June is definitely that month. Certainly would probably encourage May just as much for the reason that by the time it really does get on the market, you still got enough time. But I think one thing I've learned in real estate over the years, a lot of people are procrastinators. They wait until the last minute. We want to do this, so we're going to wait until the last minute, and then they put all the pressure on us to perform, and we're perfectly okay with that pressure though. I think we've got a pretty good track record for it. So, well, I want to